Good afternoon. Welcome back to the 2021 PGA Championship here on the Ocean Course. We are joined by Steve Stricker, who opened with a 4 over 76 today. Steve, it looked like a pretty damn good round going, and then I bet you have a regret about the 13th hole.
Yeah. I fought my way back. I made a couple bogeys on the front side, and then, excuse me, made a couple of birdies at 11 and 12, and then one bad shot at 13. I let it leak to the right and just tried to hit it really on the left side of the green and, excuse me, and get it on there and get my par and get out of there, and just didn't hit a very good shot, and actually played really, really nicely coming in too. So that one bad swing kind of killed my round.
Funny how that
Sorry.
works.
Yeah.
Gary, you're up, number 3.
Steve, is this the kind of course where when you do get out of position, you can find shots that you don't practice more so than other major championship venues?
Yeah, I mean, if you get out of position here, you're struggling, and the lies become something that you've never seen before. Stances become a challenge. It becomes very difficult if you hit it offline, and it can happen in a hurry. You have a lot of wind, and you get that ball spinning in the wrong direction, and it gets going with the wind. It can end up just about anywhere. So it's a fair test, but it's a big challenge too.
Let's go with Jeff at 5.
You had the joy, I guess, of after the 7, you have to turn into the wind and play this
Right.
brutal stretch.
Right.
So it's really hard to get stuff back out here. What's the challenge of that as you try to battle through?
Yeah, and I was just telling myself just to make pars coming in and maybe sneak a birdie in somewhere and get in with a couple over par, and almost did that. I hit a pretty good drive at 18 too, and it went up right against the tall rough and didn't even have a play off the tee. So it doesn't take much around here, and like you said, when you make that turn back into the wind, you're not expecting to make a ton of birdies on the way in. So that's the challenge, is to get as many under as you can before you turn around at 14 and start heading in.
Steve, 9 years ago, I believe you played quite well here. I mean, does that help you 9 years later? Do you remember the course? Do you remember the breaks in certain greens when you get up there again during the practice rounds, or is some of that overblown?
Well, I was 45 at that time, and now I'm 54. So the 9 years, probably didn't help me out too much, as far as age and my game, but the mental part of things, it gave me a lift knowing that I played well here. And, it's a course that I could, find my way around and get around. And, but, yeah, and I was doing okay. I wish I had 13 over again.
It's a tough game.
Yeah.
Steve, thanks for stopping
All right, guys,
through.
thank you.
We appreciate it.
See you, bye. Yep.
Have a
See you
good
guys.
evening.
See you, Jeff.